all you hear is Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro, the GLP-1 meds that promise fast weight loss and major transformations. But here's the question nobody's asking. What's the cost of losing weight that fast or losing weight so fast? I'm cutting through the hype. People deserve to know what they're not being told. You don't need to get smaller. You need to get stronger physically, metabolically, and certainly mentally. Fast weight loss without a plan, that's how people end up weaker, not better. Smaller doesn't mean healthier. And if you're losing muscle, you're just making it harder on yourself long term. Welcome back to the Fit Culture Podcast. If you've been anywhere near the internet lately, you've seen the headlines, right? All you hear is Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro, the GLP-1 meds that promise fast weight loss and major transformations, right? That's all you hear about. But here's the question nobody's asking. What's the cost of losing weight that fast or losing weight so fast? Because behind the viral before and afters is a reality I see every day, day in and day out. People drop weight, feel hopeful, and come back months later confused, soft, and stuck. Plus, they have to raise the how much they're taking. So they go from taking a 2.5 milligram to a 15 milligram. So obviously, what happens with the metabolism there and so on and so forth. So it's not because they failed, right? It's because they weren't told the full story. So in this episode, I'm cutting through the hype. This isn't an attack on these medications. These medications, they're powerful tools that when used correctly can be amazing. But people deserve to know what they're really being told, what they're not being told, right? We're going to talk about these medications actually do inside our body, how to use them safely, if at all, and how to avoid one of the biggest mistakes I'm seeing right now. Losing weight, but destroying your metabolism and muscle in the process. And if you're using or considering these medications right now, this is the episode that's for you, and it could save you months, if not years of frustration. So let's get right into it. Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro, these are part of the drug class GLP-1 receptor agonists, okay? They mimic a natural hormone your gut releases after you eat called GLP-1, glycogen-like peptide 1. Here are 3 things that the hormone does. It tells the brain you're full. It slows down how fast food leaves your stomach. It controls blood sugar by increasing insulin production. So when you take a glutide, or a semaglutide, that's the active ingredient in Ozempic and Wegovy, or trizepatide in Mounjaro, your appetite drops, you feel fuller longer, and your body sugar stays more stable, okay? These meds were originally designed for people with type 2 diabetes or insulin resistance. So that's what they were taken for, insulin resistance. And for those individuals being a legitimate breakthrough for people that were taking those. In clinical trials, patients lost 15 to 20% of their body weight. Remember, that's weight. That's real. That's documented. Okay. New England Journal of Medicine 2021 documented. They're also FDA approved for weight loss. So if your BMI is over 27 or even way higher, over 30, this is what people are seeing in the real world, is that a flood of people using these drugs purely for cosmetic weight loss. Okay. So there was a reason to take them, insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, and now all of a sudden people are just taking them for just cosmetic weight loss. And that could be a mistake because of lean mass. No one's going to talk about that. Well, we're going to talk about it a tiny bit more here. Without a plan for muscle strength or nutrition, that's where the problems start. Because sure, the scale goes down. Remember the scale. The scale will lie to you. I always tell you that, right? But if you're not protecting your lean mass and fueling your metabolism properly, the weight you're losing might not be fat. Plus, you could be lowering your hormones. We got to keep those hormones up. We got to keep them fast as we get older, right? We got to fight aging, okay? You might be losing muscle, and that's not progress. That's a metabolic setback, okay? So I want to talk about what's really happening when weight starts coming off. Because here's what most people don't realize. You might not be losing fat, you might be losing muscle. And there's a problem. There's a clinical trial published in 2023 show that up to 40% of weight loss on semaglutide comes from lean mass. Did you hear that? 40% comes from lean mass. That's not real weight loss. Problem. That's going to age you, deteriorate you, and that's going to slow down your hormones and your metabolic process. And that's not what you're trying to do, right? Okay. So now, why does this matter? Why does it matter it's coming from that? Because muscle isn't just a bonus. It's your metabolism. It's your posture. It's your blood sugar control. It's your strength. It's that firm, toned, shaped. Most people think they're chasing that firm, toned, amazing look, right? You're not going to get it if you're deteriorating. If you're aging rapidly, if you're losing lean mass, you're not going to look sexy and amazing in a bathing suit. You're not going to look that way. You're going to look saggy and droopy. Okay. And that's not what we want to look. Plus, what I have seen at the retreat is anyone who comes to us who are on these things is a dip in resting metabolic rate, which is a direct relation of a dropped metabolic problem or a metabolic problem. They become what I call metabolically challenged. I'm seeing this now. People that are on these things because they're losing so much lean mass so quickly and their body's kind of freaking out and no one's talking about that. Okay. So, lose too much muscle and here's what happens. Your metabolism slows down. Not good, right? Your energy drops and your skin starts to sag. We talked about that. You lose shape even when the number on the scale looks better. Don't be a prisoner to the scale. So the real question is, are you losing fat? Or are you just losing the weight at the cost of your long-term health? Interesting question, right? Are you just losing weight at the cost of your long-term health? Okay. I saw this play out with a client of mine, 53 years old. She just headed into menopause, driven, committed. She came here to reignite her system, and she did. She did amazing, unbelievable, and feel confident again. We use the field technique, our signature technique we do here to increase lean mass. Okay. To dial her macros based, we dialed her macros based on her lean mass. Okay. That we got in the hydrostatic body fat testing unit. Okay. She trained hard, lifted heavy, recovered well, and crushed it. She gained 8 pounds of lean mass in a small period of time. Her resting metabolic rate went up 300 points. Crazy, right? Crazy results. Okay, showing her metabolism, we sped it up, right? She felt solid. She felt energized, confident, dare I say sexy, okay? Then she added a GLP-1 medication, no insulin resistance. One of her doctors just say, hey, maybe you should try this. She thought it would help speed things up, okay? She came back a few months later, dropped 10 pounds of a muscle. She thought, okay, she lost 10 pounds. She thought it was all, I'm going to be good. I lost 10 pounds. It was all muscle. Not fat, muscle. Her metabolism dropped, her body felt softer, and her face looked hollow. And she had no idea what was happening. She thought she was getting leaner, but in reality, she was losing everything that she had worked so hard to build. This is happening every day, and it is avoidable. That's what I'm trying to help you with today in this segment. I want to help you understand why we're going to do things, how we're going to do things, what are the best way to do things. And there's a lot of people that don't know what the best way are, but we're looking at these things in real time at the retreat here, and we can see exactly what's going on, and we're going to be a kind of a machine in this. So we're empowering ourselves. We're feeling good. So in the next part of the segment, now, what does all this mean for you? Okay. You might be listening, right? Thinking, oh, that's me, man. That's me. I'm doing that. You started one of these medications, the weight dropped, right? You felt hopeful. And for the first time in a long time. So I don't want to take the fire out of everything too. If you're feeling like these things are working, that's not the point. I'm not against GLP-1s. I'm not. But now, if you're starting to feel and you're starting to say, that's me, and the scale is creeping back up, you're Energy's low, your body's feeling off, and worst of all, you're blaming yourself. Let me be absolutely clear. It's not your fault. You've heard me say this before. It's not. We're a work in progress. We're going to fix this. We're going to do this together. It's okay. I got you. Okay. But you were handed a powerful tool, but no one told you how to protect your muscle, because no one talks about that. No one's worried about it. They're always worried about weight. They're not worried about lean mass. But lean mass is everything. So no one warned you what would happen to your metabolism, right? No one gave you the playbook for doing it right. Here it is. Fat loss without muscle protection, okay, is no bueno, okay? That's not transformation. That's just shrinkage. And that's what you get. You get sagging skin, slowed metabolism, that skinny fat look, but you're weaker and you're softer and you're just, and it's not about looks of the muscle. It's about your muscle is your insurance policy for aging well. You hear that? Muscle is your insurance policy for aging well. Okay? It protects your bones, your hormones, your independence, everything. So if you've lost the weight, gained it back, and you feel like you failed, you didn't fail. You just didn't have the full picture. And that's what I want to shift today. So I want you I just want to lose weight, like that before mentality. I just want to lose weight. I don't care about anything else. The after is I want to build the after mindset. I want to build a body that I can live in, a strong body, confident and sustainable. We don't want to that before where I'm just going to lose the weight. That will set you back. Don't be like, that's old school. Don't adapt that. That will age you. That will make you look, that won't get you where you want to go. Okay. So this isn't about chasing a number. Okay. This is about building a support system that protects your body for life. You don't need to get smaller. You need to get stronger physically, metabolically, and certainly mentally. Okay. That's the kind of transformation we coach at the fitness retreat. Okay. That's what we stand for in fit culture. Real results. Real results. But not this weight loss results. Real results. And real results means keeping your lean mass or increasing your lean mass. That's real results. Being in homeostasis. Eating every 3 to 4 hours. Okay? Eating a protein, carbohydrate, and fat. Reducing how much processed food we have. Making ourselves healthier. Exercising, getting anabolic with our training. So before I wrap up, there's one more thing you need to hear. Sorry, this is the kind of thing where I tell you the dangers of everything. Because beyond the muscle loss, these medications come with real risks because people haven't been doing them for 50 to 80 years, so we don't know what it's going to do. There's some things we know and we think we know, and some things we don't even know. So you could be doing it and they said, well, I didn't know they could do that. Well, we know that at one time cigarettes, that people didn't have the disclaimers on how bad they were. I'm not comparing them to cigarettes. I'm just simply saying sometimes we don't know about things. And a lot of people aren't being told the full picture. Okay. So I've read the studies. I read the review. I reviewed the FDA data. And here's what you need to know. Serious side effects reported with semaglutides include pancreatitis, gallbladder issues like gallstones, thyroid C cell tumors. There's even a box FDA warning on this. Acute kidney injury, gastroparesis, also called stomach paralysis, worsening diabetic retinopathy, severe allergic reactions like anaphylactic, and those just are the serious ones. There's a bunch of common side effects, which happens with a lot of other medications like nausea, diarrhea, vomiting, constipation, headaches, fatigue, low blood sugar, especially when you're on other medications. So some users also report elevated heart rate. And an early animal study, interesting, suggests possible changes to heart muscle tissue, okay, or smalling, actually making the heart even potentially smaller. These are animals, and this isn't through human data. Is still catching up, so we don't know. So I'm not telling you that, but I'm not saying this to scare you. I'm just trying to inform you. Okay. So desired, informing consent. One more thing. Compounded versions of semaglutides, not FDA approved. That means no oversight, no guarantee dosing, and verified safety data. Yes, they're cheaper, but they also carry real risk. They also don't know. You also don't know who's doing them. So and how they're making them. So it could be dangerous that way. So this is about, to me, it's about ownership. And you're going to use it. And if we're going to use a powerful tool, you better have a powerful strategy to match. I think that makes sense. So let's be real. Chasing results is tempting. We all know that. We want it. We want it now, don't we? We want it now. Well, results now. These meds work fast. They get attention. But fast weight loss without a plan, that's how people end up weaker, not better. Smaller doesn't mean healthier. And if you're losing muscle, you're just making it harder on yourself long term. So this isn't about guilt. It's about stepping back, looking at the whole picture and deciding to do it differently. This is your comeback, not another reset. Okay. Not another start over, a rebuild, one that protects your muscle, your metabolism, and your mindset. Because here's the truth. You don't need another trick. You need a plan that's actually built around your body, your habits, your goals. And when you protect muscle, when you fuel yourself properly, when you train anabolically, that's when the real magic, the real change happens. Okay. Not just on the scale, but your energy, your strength, your confidence, your sex life, everything. So don't just chase weight loss. Forget the scale. Build a body you can rely on for the long haul. And if this episode hit home for you, share it with someone else who needs to hear it. Help someone else. Let's move the information. Let's work together. Let's all be one amazing journey together, helping each other. So if you start doing the things the right way, go to fitculture.com. You're going to find so many amazing products there that we're working on. And every product that we work on, I like to think it is like real products with real success. I mean, we're going over our app right now and we're redoing it because we want to make it so good because we're so anal about what we're delivering. So there's going to be, a full video library inside the Fit Culture app, daily tools and tips you can actually use. So you don't go back to square one, and you're not at square one. You're coming back with experience. You're staying consistent. You're staying fueled. You're empowering yourself. And we're learning today, aren't we? Hopefully we're all learning and we're starting to become a team. And I'm going to see you next time. And gosh, I'm so thankful for you. See you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.